he didn't speak Arabic. He was there for work.
Yeah.
I met him once, and like massive Liverpool fan. Obviously, we spoke over the years and stuff, and then
He had you at Liverpool, yeah?
yeah.
So you're gonna go to another country. You're going to basically his home.
Yeah, bro.
You met him once.
In a place we've never heard of.
Guys, this is what it's all about, bro.
Imagine Patan is like just like a like an alleyway inside Thailand or something like that. And it's just like, hey, come Ali, this is my place. It's behind the garbage.
Imagine it's like, oh, you're sleeping here, and it's like a shed or something.
He's like actually lost his mind, doesn't have a house or anything.
That's
No, I'm
it.
joking, bro. I love you.
Hey,
bro.
you're scaring me now, bro.
Do you know what I tried for leg day?
Yeah.
Barefoot.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Literally, like every single thing I did, sled, like backwards,
Barefoot as in just like
wall
what? The
squats,
socks?
deadlifts, RDLs, everything was barefoot.
Socks off or socks on?
Socks off. Seated calf raises. The workout was actually
For
better.
me, that's an ick.
Bro,
I see some people at the gym, and it's like, what are you doing,
Wait,
man?
are there people at the gym that go, so is this a normal thing?
No, like I think like there's one of the PTs. You
Yeah,
see,
I was asking her
she
if
walks
that's okay.
she walks around barefoot. I'm like,
Wait, is it the same
biggest
gym we
ick,
go to?
man.
Yeah, I wore sandals
Yeah.
whenever I
Nah, we
walk
go to
around.
different gyms, wallah. I haven't seen barefoot people walking around.
Me too, bro. This
Yeah.
is so uncommon.
Like I understand like how good it is for your feet, but just
How's it good for your feet though?
Well, that's
And that's why you're supposed to wear flat shoes so you can push out your
conditioning,
heels,
you got to
and then it's also it strengthens
It
your
is.
feet and stuff like that.
What's
Knees over toes showed in one of his videos.
What's the gym called?
Don't bet.
Now people are gonna start
Don't
coming
bet.
and start working out.
Jake Stringer goes to the gym.
Nah, it's because they read the book Barefoot Investor. They took it literally.
they're that keen.
Hey, so what's the benefits behind it though?
There's just a lot of like, because when you wear shoes, your shoes are getting protected, so you want to get your feet stronger as well. So you just there's a lot of, there's like a thing called like earth things, like you actually feel when you walk around. You know, there's you use your heel more, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't know all the evidence, but I did it for one session and I enjoyed it a lot more.
What
Maybe
did you-
because more
did you
mind
feel-
muscle
Did
connection.
you feel anything? Anything different other than the floor?
It's a serious question.
I'm actually being serious.
Yeah, I
Because
felt
you
it.
said the earth thing, and that took me
Yeah.
off.
Nah,
bro.
I'm in the gym. There's no earth, like natural
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
But a lot of people, like when you're supposed to deadlift, a lot of people go barefoot and stuff like that.
Yeah. Flat-footed.
Yeah,
So I did it for
feels different.
for sled, which is like a movement exercise. It's good for your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
And then for single leg RDLs, it's perfect
sure,
because it
for
works
sure.
on your balance.
Hey, how long you guys been sledding away now for?
2 weeks. Yeah, that's the weirdest
You try
one.
to make it sound so normal.
Yeah, I'll
You
be
know-
sledding away for 2
Because
weeks.
you know
now.
who says it like that? Knees over toes guy.
Oh, does
Yeah,
it?
because that's his number one ad for his program stuff. He goes, one sled a day takes your problems away or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Bro, they're so casual about it, yeah. Like they're doing
Yeah.
they're doing the sled, and then even his mates doing his on the phone. It's like, bro, it's like they live on the sled.
You know what his
So
ads
weird.
remind me of? His ads remind me of, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but you know, like 99 Go or those weird channels that, you remember when you missed school on a sick day or something like that? And you stayed home and then like on television, there was those shit shows like Ready, Steady, Cork and all of them ones.
Yeah.
And then there was also these ads that used to try selling you stuff like the ab cruncher and all that kind of stuff. You see how they used to make their ads? I'm telling you, right, knees over toes, he makes his ads the exact same way.
Honestly, it works there. A lot of people sign up.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
fake. It looks way too
Yeah.
fake.
We grew up differently, bro. At Foxtel.
Yeah, it was the same shows, man.
What a
It was Ellen
You
and
make it sound
Dr.
like I grew up in
Phil.
the trenches or something.
Dr. Phil for 3
Had a
hours.
TV
yeah?
fam.
Was it Judge Judy?
Nine Go. I haven't heard that in my life.
What's that?
Oh wait, you guys haven't heard of 99 Go?
No, we have.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And we grew up different generation than you. There was no 99 Go when we were, in school.
Mine is the same age.
I'm so confused,
Honestly,
bro.
I was gonna say, bro, what?
99 Go was like when we were in like senior school.
It's
like,
still around right now.
I know, that's what it came out.
99 Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it 9 Go?
Nah, 99
I think
Go.
it's Channel 99.
It all
9.
belongs on the Channel 9.
Yeah, nah, I'm
Look,
being
you
that.
could
That,
ask
ca-
him,
that
I
came
can't
out like
talk.
what? Like when like year 9 or something.
Well, I
Wasn't it?
wouldn't remember. All I know, that's how I
It's
used
good
to watch after
Oh,
I got
you're
rid
in
of...
year 7. But
That was
like,
when I had my first kid, bro.
What, you got
What's that?
kids?
you had a beard back then.
Nah, bro.
Hey,
I had a beard coming out the womb, cuz. What are you talking about?
That's true. Let's talk about the kid though. What's his name? Or her name?
Sahil Jr.
Damn, Saha, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I said, yeah. I called him that before. So,
Like, Sahala, yeah.
Sahala, I reckon.
You're losing it, but yeah, man. Was this gonna be on the app?
You guys are running the show
This
today.
is hilarious. I can't believe you go to a gym. Everyone's walking around casually, no socks, no shoes.
There's only one person that does it.
And then you
And
became
now-
number 2.
now 2. Yeah.
Hey, so it's a white girl that does it, yeah?
Yeah.
Bro, wallah, Dave Chappelle was right.
Enough said, huh?
Wallah, Dave Chappelle was right. It's like 30 feet.
Nah, it's good, man. You know, it really makes you take care of your health. Have you seen? There's some people in the gym they have these shoes which pretty much like really flat. It's like it's not shoes,
Okay.
and it's got individual for each toe.
He wears. Oh no, he doesn't wear it. That.
Not
No,
that
you know you. I'm
Not-
talking about
But
knees
it's,
over toes.
but it's like those kind of shoes. They cost like 300, and people take it whenever they go running, whenever they go to the gym and stuff like that. Whenever I used to go to my old gym, a lot of people used to have it, and he's like, "Yeah, best investment I ever made." You know?
that guy 6-pack shortcuts used to wear. Remember that guy, the scammer?
What's
He's
that?
like, I'm a
Six-pack
natural guy.
shortcuts.
That, you know the Asian with the long hair.
Yeah, the
He's-
YouTube guy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, I
Right.
remember him.
He disappeared. You
He
know
was
why?
huge,
'Cause
bro.
I know who it is.
He was on roids.
No.
Yeah,
He was massive.
Oh, he wasn't natural.
No,
We're
he
too
wasn't.
young
He
to like
wasn't
even
natural.
realize
But
that.
he was
though.
lying to everyone. But this was in the era of pranks and stuff like that. Everyone thought
Yeah.
pranks was still real, bro. We were so gullible back
Was
in
he
the day.
Australian or something?
What was his name?
No, he was
No,
American.
American. I
Six
think.
pack.
6-pack shortcuts.
But like the gym world of like YouTube wasn't that big.
Yeah, wallah.
6-pack short tats.
Remember him?
Massive, bro. I used to get so gassed. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Fam,
bro.
think about his name. 6-pack short tats. Is
No,
that his name?
Shortcuts.
yeah.
Shortcuts.
This guy, I used to watch him all the time.
Did you actually watch him?
Yeah.
See, it brings back memories.
Yeah, watch him.
Nah,
He was the original.
he looks like
Gym
a guy
guy.
from Hawaii 5-0.
So you either watch this or this
I
guy.
haven't seen that.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
were the two
Ziz.
options back then.
This was a legend, bro.
How's you? Go do the pose. It's not making
I
that.
could actually see him looking up to Ziz growing
Yeah.
up. Wallah.
Nah, it's not me,
This
bro.
is-
I had
Head steady.
Chest bra.
I had a mate that used to love this. He used to actually.
Do you even lift?
We used to G him up in class, and I told you sit down, And we flicker the lights.
Start raving. He starts raving.
And he learned the moves perfectly because he calls a figure A and he does these things.
Yeah.
He's got the name for everything. He actually
Damn.
learned all.
That's crazy.
Well, I love that kid, man. Well, I miss him. He's the funniest bloke. But this, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Ziz generation was funny.
Messed up.
It was funny because actually, you know what it is. I still don't know whether or not he was taking the piss.
Mm.
Him.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he went Melbourne High or something like that. The guy was like a G, like he was
Oh, I
very
didn't
smart.
know
Smart, yeah.
He was very
I
smart.
thought he was a nerd, and that got him into gym because obviously, like back then, you say gym gets you girls, so a lot of
Yeah,
people get
he's-
into gym.
And I was thinking, bro, like surely he's like taking the piss with all of this. Like he's acting like those stereotypical.
It seems like
meatheads
it.
and whatever.
But then when I meet people that love him that are exactly the same as him, and I'm like, maybe he wasn't taking the piss.
yeah, I know what you mean. He started the cult, bro. Well, it was
He did.
funny.
Mm.
His type
funny.
of followings are the people I don't like in the gym.
Mm.
They're the reasons why I either go gym early in
Can't
the
come
morning.
back from this,
Uh-huh.
type of comments, bro.
You can't.
Oh, no, don't do it.
This is where it doesn't make the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
They're coming after you, bro.
Yeah.
These guys, where they take it too serious.
Yeah.
They're gonna cancel me.
Wallah, bro. They're gonna come in. They're gonna start telling you how to work out at the gym, bro. They'll find you.
Oh.
They'll just start annoying you.
Nah, worse ones.
Mm.
They're the ones that stand right in front of the mirror blocking your view after you're getting a
They're
mad pump.
bad.
Like, yes,
So
bro,
you-
beat it. Get out of the way.
So you can't record it. Yeah?
Aromatic singlet. Nah. Let's swing it to the episode, inshallah. Ali,
Yeah,
tomorrow, you're off onto a plane,
Yes.
off to Thailand.
Yeah, man. First solo trip.
100%.
And bro, the thing is, I'm still at uni, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So people asking me, how you like juggling with work and uni and whatever. I'm like, oh, I've got uni online, so it's like I can kind of sort it out, wing it.
Yeah.
Because like I've been looking at tickets and stuff, and obviously only now it's cheaper because uni started, school started,
Mhm.
like no one's really going. And I've been thinking about it for a while to like do a solo trip,
For sure.
but then like obviously it's my first trip, so it's like it's not an easy decision to make. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, do I really want to do it? Is
For
it
sure.
actually going to be fun? Obviously, I've got no idea what's on the other side now.
Yeah.
Leaving tomorrow, I'm going Phuket for 4 days,
Oosh.
I think, and then a place called Patani. So it's in the south of Thailand.
Yeah.
Majority Muslims. So I think it's near Malaysia or
Yeah.
Indonesia, one of the Muslim countries. And I've got no idea like what's going to happen there, yeah?
Mhm.
I just know I have a friend there that I met in Jordan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay with him. So alhamdulillah, like thankfully, he said I can stay in his apartment. I
What-
haven't seen him since Jordan. Like I remember the interaction as well. He's probably going to watch this, hopefully. So it was 2017. We met him at like a Thai National Day.
Yeah.
So our roommate was Thai as well.
What?
So it's like Thai National Day.
What in Jordan?
No, like there's a big Thai community in Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, massive actually.
Mm.
So like when we were there, so
They
A
have
lot
a whole
of-
day to themselves as well.
yeah, pretty much. And obviously like they all came together. They like created this big event. So our roommate that's actually Thai, he told us about this. Like, yeah, come along, and we'll see what happens. At at like a 5-star hotel buffet.
I was literally gonna Google. I think it's called Four Seasons, something like that.
Yeah, 4 seasons. Yeah,
You know, they really.
Yeah,
it's
that's literally where we went to.
yeah.
top
Wait,
quality.
wait. What's Four Seasons?
Yeah.
It's like
The hotel.
globally well known, like as one of the like best hotels, like
In
massive
Jordan.
branch. Yeah. Like so, there's one in Jordan, obviously elsewhere around the
Yeah.
world.
So the equivalent of like a Mantra, Hilton, all them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Four Seasons big hotel chain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But-
massive.
So what? Like they just had like a massive conference
Yes.
full of Thai people that were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
chilling in Jordan.
But just
So
imagine
Do they
having
speak Arabic?
Bro, they speak good Arabic.
Bro, I tripped out once. I met a person who was half Egyptian and half I think Filipino,
Oh wow.
and then she just started speaking in Arabic, like Egyptian Arabic. Like I'm like,
And good
excuse me,
good pronunciation, yeah.
bro. This is not being racist or anything, but
Yeah.
that just tripped me out, bro. You ever
Of
seen
course.
Rush Hour? You know, and he goes, "You Asian stuff, you mean it?"
It's
He's
trippy,
like
bro.
slapping around
It's
that
trippy.
guy.
Yeah, man, it's trippy. But like
Wow, man.
the Thais, obviously, they learned it through the colleges and stuff. So like they do have like a strong pronunciation of words and stuff. So like their Arabic takes time because in certain languages, like your pronunciation of your mother tongue is so different to the language you're learning.
For sure, yeah.
So for English, it might be a bit easier, or even like for us, like 'cause you know a bit of Arabic, for example, Sus and Ashraf. Like from a young age, you hear a few words and letters from school. But then for like Turkish people, for example, you know how they like
Up to the ceiling.
yeah their language. It's like all of a sudden they're trying to learn Arabic letters. It's like
The opposite.
yeah, complete opposite, bro. So they
Yeah.
actually struggle. Somalis would be pretty easy because it's
Yeah.
really similar. So it's like a big culture shock. But yeah, anyways, for this like Thai National Day, I think it's annually. But it was the first time we went. We rocked up, dressed up well, and I think that was the first time like dressing up, like because we were in Jordan for like 10 months by then. We were always wearing trackies every day, whatever. And
You're
we're
living
like,
the Wayfarer life,
yeah.
basically.
So like it's like an opportunity to actually like dress up. Like oh sick, why not? And then we rocked up, met some Thai people and that, and then this brother that lives in Patani now. I'm gonna stay with. I've actually only met him once.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And how we connected? He spoke English. He didn't speak Arabic. He was there for work.
Yeah.
I met him once, and like massive Liverpool fan. Obviously, we spoke over the years and stuff, and then
He had you at Liverpool, yeah?
yeah,
So you're gonna go to another country. You're going to basically his home.
yeah, bro.
You met him once,
Yeah.
In a place we've never heard of.
Guys, this is what it's all about, bro.
Imagine Patan is like just like a alleyway inside Thailand or something like that. And it's just like, hey, come Ali, this is my place. It's behind the garbage.
Imagine it's like you're sleeping here, and it's like a shed or something.
He's like actually lost his mind, doesn't have a house or anything.
Guys,
No, I'm joking, bro. I love you.
Hey,
bro.
you're scaring me now, bro.
Hey, what language did he speak?
So Thai, but
Yeah.
then he spoke a bit of English, like just enough.
Yeah.
But then because he was there for work, we were speaking Arabic with one of the other Thai guys,
For sure,
and
for sure.
he didn't bother with Arabic. He's like, nah, I'm here for work. I'll speak English.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So but you
tried-
kept in contact with him there, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. So the beauty of social media, kept in contact and stuff, and then Bismillah, let's see what happens, man. That's
awesome.
exciting, bro. Like, obviously, I've got no idea what's gonna happen,
Mhm.
and going on your own, you don't know how the experience is gonna be. Sometimes, like, I know a lot of people that are not willing to even travel alone at all.
For sure.
Like, they're just like, oh no, it's boring. Like, what do you do?
You nervous to go there?
A bit, to be honest.
For
Not
sure.
so much Patani, to be honest, because I know someone I'm staying with, a local.
You don't know him, bro. You just
Bro.
know he's a Liverpool supporter.
Hey, he's a Liverpool fan. Bismillah, Muslim guy. Good
That's
enough,
all that
man.
matters,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
alhamdulillah.
like, hey, can I come to your house?
Nah, hey, well, I'm deep in this now. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? Why am I making this decision, bro?
We should have had this conversation like 5 weeks ago, bro.
I should have talked them through before deciding, yeah?
So keep your live location on, bro.
Yeah, but Phuket, man, I've been talking to some people and stuff.
Yeah,
Spoke to Ahmed as well. He's been.
for sure.
That's going to be exciting because I'm literally by myself. So I don't know what to expect. Yes, there's like things to do like jet skis, quad bikes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're going by yourself, you just don't know how things are going to
Yeah.
turn out.
So what's the purpose of the trip? Is it just to like...
Solo trip. Like I want to experience a solo trip. I don't know if I will get another opportunity because of like other commitments and stuff.
Yeah,
And kind of wing it from there.
and enjoy it.
Yeah, so it's going to be good, man. Inshallah.
Hey, listen, all
Yeah.
your jerseys are mine, cuz if you're going. You don't come back, they're mine.
Hey, apparently I can get some jerseys there, bro. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's what's up.
Ooh.
I might make
Is
my
that
orders
like
now.
Agbagna?
That
Doesn't matter.
Bro, I want a Supreme bum bag. That's all I want, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
done.
I'll just start matching with Ahmed.
I'll get you like Louis Vuitton. Why not?
Why not, bro? Why not? Nah, 100%. Hey, so what made you come to this realization? Like, where did this idea come from traveling? Because aren't you at uni at the moment?
Yeah. Are you saying like solo trip or just traveling in general?
Or just traveling in general? Were you having an itch for it? What was it like?
Well, I think 100% there's an itch because of like 2 years or more of not traveling international. So it's like I'll kind of take any opportunity there is, bro.
Yeah.
even if it's like a country I've never been to. Like I miss it. I can't be waiting for people. Honestly, initially I was thinking, yeah, Bismillah, if one of the boys want to come, you guys, even Ashraf. But then it's like, I still want to go. I'll book it. I'll let you guys know, which I did.
Yeah.
You can come if you'd like, but if not, Bismillah, I'll go by myself.
For sure.
You know what that reminds me of? Like just you're talking about the group of Thai people in Jordan.
Yeah.
It's tripped me out still. That's just still stuck on my mind. When we're in Liverpool, bro, when I saw that group of Yemenis, that was the funniest thing on earth, bro. To me, because we pulled up in an Uber and I'm like, bro, Liverpool, surely there's no one but like Liverpool.
Scousers.
What do they call Scousers and stuff, yeah.
Liverpoolians.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I'm running with that.
Let's keep
Yeah, I was just thinking, bro, surely it's just them, you know, get on the car, yeah. You know, well, that sort of stuff. That's what I was thinking. I pull up, it's Arab. And I'm like, Habibi, انت Muslim? He goes, yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam. I go, he understood me. Because I'm speaking Lebanese Arabic.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Lebanese, he goes, لا لا, Yemeni. And I go, oh, okay. في كتير منكم هون, like, is there a lot of you here? And he goes, كتير أكتر من هذيك. Like, there's more of us than there is of the scouts.
no way.
And I was laughing. I was like, all right, beautiful. Then I started getting, like, I asked him, like, what's going on? Or, like, where are all the restaurants and all that sort of stuff. And
So you're in an English-speaking country. You're in Liverpool, and you chose to talk Arabic.
bro, you know what it is? You know,
It's also
And
a connection, like to
Yeah.
try connect with
you
them.
ever been to Liverpool?
Yeah.
Bro, it feels like you've reached, it, like, you know, like anarchy, like, you know, like when the world's gone to
Yeah.
shit, and you're just like, it's just like, I don't mean to, I like Liverpool, I love the place. I love the place, don't go after me, but like when I went there, I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is it, yeah? I'm like, surely, like, we're in the top of the world, like that, like, there's nobody here, and then there's Muslims.
Yeah, Yemenis.
Tripping
Yeah.
out, bro. So
What are
it was
Yemenis doing there,
man. Yeah, just in general, bro. What the hell?
And so they live there, like for work and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, and I asked him, why'd you come here? Why didn't you stay in London? He goes, oh, it's too expensive, whatever it was. And he goes, he's beautiful, they're more accepting and whatever. And I was like, oh, it's crazy. Because when you're there, bro, you understand everyone's so laid back, man. Everyone's so laid back. And I was, bro, it just shook me out. It's like anywhere you go, bro, you'll be surprised who you meet. Wallah, you'll be like, there's pockets of people that they just live in different countries that you did not expect.
But also you meet a Yemeni guy or a guy that looks Yemeni, like his kid, he's got a Scouse accent.
Yeah.
Or we meet a Thai guy, he's speaking perfect Arabic.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, how do you like? You look at them, you're like, this guy doesn't know Arabic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's like some of the brothers that we met, beautiful recitation. Like they couldn't speak Arabic, then they were qadis, like back in Thailand. I'm like, man, mashallah, you don't have no idea.
Yeah.
Like you can't judge them by what you see.
Yeah.
You know, or you can't judge a city from what you know. Like you think Scousers, then you go there. It's like, oh, Liverpool might have a very big Muslim population.
Yeah.
Like, damn, didn't know that.
For sure.
Crazy, bro. Like especially when we were in like at the Anfield Stadium, there was a shop for obviously the Liverpool merchant stuff, and there was about 8 counters of hijabis.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, 8 counters of just hijabis, all Liverpool, all Scouse accents, bro.
That's so weird.
Hi, Colin. And I'm just there going, excuse me, what?
What'd you say?
What's going on? Yeah, bro, it's
That's
like a different
trippy.
universe, bro. We don't know nothing, cuz.
That's the blessings
Yeah.
of traveling, though.
100%, man. Like even like creating those connections and developing on them, like because you don't know if there's going to be another time you go to the same country or they can even come to yours, and it's opportunities, bro. Opportunities arise. Like I know one guy I played soccer with, French guy. He's living in Canada now. He's coming back to Melbourne, and because he's coming back, like he used to play here, but like what 3-4 years ago. But now he's coming back. He kept connections with other people. Now he's getting trials at soccer teams. He's getting opportunities. So people don't realize you actually got to try and make an effort with keeping those connections and
Gotta
developing
meet someone
them.
for one day and tell him, hey, I'm coming to Thailand to sleep with you, cuz.
I'm starting to think I'm sus, bro. That's what people are thinking right now. It's like, bro, what's Ali doing?
No, it's good. It's good.
That's good,
Alhamdulillah,
man.
bro. It's Islam as well, bro. That's a massive
100%,
thing,
bro.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
A massive thing is like you can trust like a Muslim,
Mm.
especially when you bond first time with a person based off of Islam. There's always that safety net.
Yes.
Or
It's powerful.
not always. Don't go around to every Muslim.
Big things is like, for example, with that brother or the other brothers, like we lived with a Thai guy, so he was very friends with him, and then there was we had a lot of other Thai friends who were mates with him. So it's like, if you have 10 friends and they're all tight with him, it's like, oh, he must be just one of the boys. So you can kind of trust him straight away. He's just not studying at the Jamia like us, you know. So it's one of those kind of thing. Yeah.
But it is powerful, man. Like you speak to people, like you meet them for the first time in general. like when you find out they're Muslim, it is crazy. Like you have that instant trust in a way, especially depending on the country you're in and stuff. Like for example, being in Jordan, it's just us two. We don't actually have family there. And when you meet other Muslims similar age, it's like, yeah, you're my brother. And even though I just met you, bro,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man.
That's why it's amazing. Like when you go anywhere, bro, it's like as soon as someone finds out you're like a Muslim, it's like bang, yeah, straight away, yeah, you're good, I'm good, everyone's
Crazy.
alright now. There's like that.
I'll take care of you.
Down, you know.
Yeah.
It's legendary. Wallah, it's mad.
Even meeting someone that's
Happy
from
with that one?
I love that one.
even meeting someone from Melbourne. Like if you're on the other side of the world and you just see a guy, it's like, oh, from Melbourne, no way, you serious? Where in Melbourne are you from? But you see people on the street here and you don't care.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
hard.
So it's just a random.
Bro, you know that thing, yeah? When you go, I don't know about like you guys, I think I was talking to Sahal about this when he came back. When you go overseas, your Aussie accent comes out. Like as in you're all of a sudden more proud and like, yeah, I got an Aussie accent. Like you're in your
I
head.
feel like I put it on
You guys
sometimes
like
as
that?
well, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's actually a thing.
It's not natural.
Unconsciously. Like you
Yeah.
hear everyone starting to speak their way. If you start speaking
Yeah.
like them when you go, nah, I'm going hard the other
Yeah.
way because I'm going to start speaking like myself more.
Especially
Hey, g'day, mate.
and when they notice your accent, then it's all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I got an Aussie accent. Look at me. Like all of a sudden
Where are
you appreciate
from?
it.
Are you from Australia?
Oh, say something. Say something in Australian.
Hey, going.
Where do I
That's the
start?
best one.
Well,
It's like I'm from Australia. You don't even say it properly.
Even the way we say Australia,
Yeah.
because we can pretty much skip.
Yeah,
We
bad.
pretty much eat like 3/4 of the letters in the
It's
the
every
word.
word, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, it's crazy how that works, man.
Amazing.
I know when I went to Cairns, yeah. So I thought I had a heavy Australian accent, yeah. But up in Cairns, they've got like the heaviest Australian accent. Like fair dinkum, the word fair dinkum is like a conjunction word for them. They say it after every second word. Yeah, so I got up to northern Cairns and stuff. And I remember when we went up there, the guys thought we had a British accent. And we're like, where do you get a British accent from? Because their Australian accent is so strong that it makes ours look like it's weak type of thing.
Probably because you and your boys use London lingo like you guys are from.
You know, I knew it was coming. You set yourself up.
I was waiting for someone to say that.
You say yourself.
Nah, but even the accent in general, not even
Yeah.
like
I
the
know,
fam
innit,
and all
man.
that kind of stuff. I was like, that's crazy. you
In
know?
it.
Even someone commented on the TikTok the other day.
What did they
I don't
say?
know
Did
if
it
you
say
seen
fam?
it. It's like they said, oh, now every guy in London's coming out with a podcast.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. And I think someone replied, though.
It's like they're from Australia. What do you mean?
He's like, never mind. It's like, how do you not know, bro?
Oh, God.
Even I remember we met someone after Sydney, and like, we just because he was reading like I think Stolen Focus or something. Like, do you remember what book it was? I think from Johan Hari.
Stolen focus.
Yeah, but he's from like eastern suburbs, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, but like, what accent is that? He asked me. I'm thinking, bro, like I'm from Melbourne. But then it just shows like,
We
obviously,
asked you what your accent
yeah.
is.
He's like, yeah. We're like, oh, because we told him about the podcast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the like fair dinkum, or like we told that in Ash or whatever. We're a bit Aussie. He's like, yeah, but you don't have an Aussie accent.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? I'm tripping out. I'm thinking, bro, I swear I have an Aussie accent.
Yeah.
Where
What's
was
his?
I don't
Nah,
have a
he-
strong
yeah.
Aussie accent compared to Aussies.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at work, people always say you got an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not full Australian. There might be words I pronounce that's just a bit different. It's like you might say a couple
I
words.
speak never.
Yeah.
That's basically.
But there's someone who here, it's like not completely like Aussie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you at one time, bro. Educated trading was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Someone
Educated
told me I
trading.
sound like an educated trader.
Uh,
I was like, bro, I don't know whether to be offended or to
Hey,
be
you
happy
should take
about
that, bro.
one,
That's a good one.
I like that.
But also you multi-environment as well. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
true.
when someone watches Top Boy, they start saying like, in a family, this, that, yeah. Or when I come back from Buddings, yeah, I'm saying, g'day, mate, how are you? And they say, how's your day? Living the dream. Bro, I'm not living no dream. Where did I get something like that from? Because it's so Australian.
Working
Yeah.
hard or hardly working.
Yeah, exactly. Another dollar, another day.
That's the best line of all time.
It does depend on your
I'll
environment.
use
right?
that back because I do deliveries, yeah. Every
Yeah.
single delivery I go to, I took my little brother with me on runs. I tapped and go, Hamid, hey, watch this. I go to him, g'day, mate. He goes, how you going? You go, all right, yourself? Okay, working hard or hardly working? Busting up laughing. This guy losing his mind. Go to the next place. Hamid, watch this. Working hard, hardly working. Starts laughing his head off. Next one. And me, Hamid is just laughing his head off, not because it's funny, but he's like, bro, these guys are funny, bro. As if they all love the same line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad.
bro, it works on everyone, bro. It's like you just went and tickled everybody.
It
bro.
kind of just it kind of just breaks the ice in a way.
Oh, like that. But
But-
tradies are so laid back, wallah.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, really. But the whole Australian, like, I guess even the Australian, like, language in of itself, not the language itself, but, the culture,
Yeah.
is so laid back. Like, nothing's ever bad. I don't know if you realize, like, how's your day? Not bad. Like, why can't you just say good?
Oh,
Yeah.
this morning, I was doing a delivery, and that's our funniest thing. Just randomly, bro. 6 a.m. in the morning, these 2 tradie guys walk past my car. I was doing a delivery. Look at me like, oh, I thought you were delivering pizza, mate. I go, at this time? And he started laughing. He's like, no, that's why I was tripping out. I was like, why would you be delivering pizza now? And I'm like, I go, mate, I'll be honest with you. If I was delivering pizza now, I'd be rolling in money, wouldn't I? He goes, yeah, 100%. It's the dumbest conversation on earth. And as I left, he goes, see you, champion. I go, oh, my heart. You call me
I like
champion?
you. That's
Bro,
a that's a compliment.
That's
Champion's
the
a
best line
compliment.
on earth, bro. You call anyone champion, bro, you're automatically,
Elevated level.
that's
Yeah.
it, bro.
You're a good mate.
I thought I was making millions after that. Bro. Champion. Bro.
I hate that.
But, yeah, man, that stuff's funny, bro. Like, just,
You only come aware of it when you go explore, like even going to Cairns or a different city or something like that, you know? Or just meeting people like us. We just spoke to a guy at the airport.
we can't be, bro. The thing is, even if you stay in your area, for example, like, a lot of people from the southeast that we met are way more different to us.
Bro, there was a brother there.
Wait, how are they different? How are they different?
There was a brother there. He, like a young kid, like year 12, wearing the year 12 jacket. Said salams. I'm like, where are you from? And they said, guess. And then he looked Somali. So and obviously I know Somalis. Look, I said Somali. He goes, yeah, I'm half Somali, half Indonesian.
Oh, he's mixed.
And I'm thinking, like, you don't see that in our area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you
And then he goes, yeah, that's like, you know. And I'm like, do you know more Somali or Indonesian? He goes, Indonesian. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's basically.
But it's
Indonesian.
that kind of, so if you're only in your area, you only see what's in your area.
Exposed to so little as
Yeah.
well.
He obviously doesn't have TikTok. But, yeah, man, he was.
Bro, I met a half Somali, half Australian the other day, and he was built like dead ass like an Australian. Because Somalis are like twigs, tall, lanky, this, that, yeah. And we're looking at this guy, and we're playing basketball with him, and we go to him. And he goes, "That guy's half Somali over there." I go, "Which one?" I'm just looking at every like black guy. I was like, "Okay, who?" And he goes, "This guy right in front of me." And he was built, strong, everything, and his Australian side dominated him. You could not tell he was
What was his
And
name?
something.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
Gosh.
Could you just remind me? I have a mate who's half Somali, half Aussie.
And I was like,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, from
Yeah.
work.
"Oh, is he half?"
Yeah.
And he's more white than he is black, I'm guessing.
Like his
Yeah.
persona, like his mannerism and stuff, Aussie.
He's
Yeah.
Aussie, yeah.
Oh, like a revert. They married a revert. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah, like that.
I'm tripping out, bro.
Yeah.
How's that work, bro?
I don't understand. This
So-
guy's dad was Somali,
Okay.
so it's like,
And he's good at basketball?
Inshallah.
yeah, he was good. Why you ask a question like that? No, he's a baller. He's certified.
Certified.
Yeah, we're from London. Alhamdulillah.
Now we'll transition to the next bit. I don't know if you guys have been following the news with whatever's been going on in the world, but in regards to the possibility of a World War III around the corner, have you guys seen that? Do you guys think World War III is around the corner? Let's start off with that.
It seems like
Huh?
it, man.
That's what we said last year.
What?
Remember America and Russia were going at each other before COVID? In 2020.
You mean Korea?
Yeah, Korea.
Yeah, North
But
Korea.
was there
North
an invasion?
No, it wasn't invasion, it was tension.
Wasn't
Nah.
it Iran?
At the start of the year.
Yes, it was Iran.
So it was like
There was North Korea,
Cyber
then there
war.
was Iran, and now it's it's every bloody, what are they called, communist states or whatever, the ones that are led by dictators and stuff. There are possibility with
Yeah.
wars.
Dictators, don't say that stuff. Okay, I love everyone equally.
Now, but
Seeing
I was gonna say
children
North
of
Korea
the
because they were
world.
testing missiles and stuff,
yeah.
and then obviously he started getting cocky and stuff. On the Nelk podcast that Donald Trump did with Donald Trump, he even speaks about it. He goes, and this is him being very, very arrogant and stuff. And he goes, if it wasn't for me, and if let's just say if Biden was the president at the time, I assure you there would have been a world war. You know, it's like, and then he goes into Iran. He speaks about Iran, how there's a possibility of war as well. And now we've got Ukraine at our hands. But that's been happening for a while. It's been a matter of time. And like from my point of understanding, it was inevitable in the sense that like Putin, ever since he became the leader of Russia and all that kind of stuff, he's always had his eye on Ukraine. And Ukraine was like the heart of Russia in their eyes. That's technically where like that was like before there was a Moscow. Yeah, you know, the Moscow is the capital city of Russia. The capital city of the Soviet Union was actually, what's it called? Kiev or whatever it is.
Kiev, yeah.
Um,
Okay, I didn't
It
know
is
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I've seen pictures and stuff.
Have you been there?
No, I've seen pictures.
Pictures of it. Say again?
He's gonna go sleep.
He's met one person.
That sounds bad.
Where do you try to get your information from?
Bro, I'll be honest. What's his name? At the start, when it was happening, I thought it was a joke because I remember I was in Cairns at the time. And what's his name? Phil DeFranco or something like that. His TikToks, he has some amazing 1 minute TikToks where he just explains everything in like 10 seconds. Then he actually ended up becoming an actual conversation where Putin started he started addressing the nation. like how serious this was.
He's on smoke.
He's actually on smoke. So it became everywhere. Like now, everywhere you see is, bro, when's the last time you heard about COVID?
Yeah, bro.
It's
How
not even a-
crazy
It's
is that?
taken over.
It's
yeah.
not even a
Yeah,
conversation
case
Yeah.
anymore.
numbers no more, bro.
There is no
Mm.
case
Yeah, it's
numbers. There's no.
irrelevant.
The other day, I heard something about how Channel 7 reported this or whatever. They said Omicron's son has now entered Melbourne or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that.
have you heard that one?
Yeah.
And it's like they're preparing for another surge of.
Subvariant or something.
But then they go, bro. They go if you because everyone already had basically Omicron. You're basically
You mean?
immune,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's not a problem now. But what's more important is Ukraine.
Mm.
I'm like, what's going on here? Hang on a second.
Yeah, last year.
But they pick and choose as well. You know, the start of, remember when we were talking about it in the gym, that Mohammed Hijab video that he did with Dayan Hirsi Ali girl or whatever? There was a video that popped up on my TikTok.
It's funny.
And the guy started off, for that guy, basically dissed her without using a swear word.
How do you
It
degrade
felt like a
someone
swear
without
word.
swearing? Yeah,
It felt like a
mashallah.
swear word, bro. I heard many.
Bro, what is that apple polisher?
What did he use
love
that?
it. Apple, basically, like, you know, when you go to teacher's pet and then you
Yeah.
polish the apple before teacher comes in. That's what it is.
But that's my new diss now.
That's the
an
funniest thing I've heard
intellectual
in my
diss,
life.
bro.
Basically, a kiss ass. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. The way he went in on that girl, haram.
That's it.
I actually feel sorry for her a little bit, bro.
Right.
Because no, I'll be honest with you, yeah. What she said, obviously, like
Yeah.
she's doing it for attention. I hate to say it, yeah. Obviously, her experiences and all that sort of stuff are like, I don't think you can take away from. But a lot of the things that she was saying in the actual podcast, a lot of it has to do with Muslims and not Islam. You know,
Yeah, it's
She's
personal.
she's always talking about how the way the people
And even culture, like
Yeah.
cultural interpretation of what Islam is.
exactly.
Well, that's where it technically all stemmed from. You know what I mean?
That's why I was like, okay, I can kind of see what her problem is, but
Mm.
she's not actually trying to like get to like a good place with Muslims and Islam and stuff like that. She's actually just trying to tarnish it. She's just trying to like, she's like you were saying, she's an apple polisher for the right. She's basically just trying to go, okay, put money in my account. I can say as a Muslim or
Yeah.
an ex-Muslim,
Yeah.
this and this are the problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh look, ex-Muslim said that. She's got experience. She's
And she's
allowed to speak.
educated
You
and
know?
Yeah.
She's experienced it, or she's firsthand. How can you tell her that her experiences are wrong? No one's saying that. Everyone's saying that the way she's going about it is incorrect. Bro, I can't believe that they just hang around with the word ex-Muslim. Alright, how do you go about life like that?
Mm.
It's like, but they're also
Dangerous.
proud to do it. Like, you know, like
But-
that's
As
the
in, like,
title. They
people
write
like
books
Ayan.
about it.
That's
Literally, yeah.
attention tag, bro.
Yeah,
That's what it
exactly,
is.
exactly. Attention to also.
Well, that's
They
what
wouldn't
it
get
is.
on a podcast for any other reason. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You don't get.
They've
the
made it
concept.
their identity, basically. People like Ayan.
She said, "Alhamdulillah, Mohammed Jab's doing good work.
Yeah.
Gonna go back to Ukraine."
But what
to-
I was gonna say before, like they came out with that podcast, some guy was like, I don't know, giving his take on it. But he says something pretty nice. He goes something about when the media is covering only one thing, that's when you should go and look at what's actually happening out in the world. You know what I mean? Like in regards to the world at the moment, all we see is like Russia, Ukraine. Like a basketball video came up on my TikTok today by one of these channels, Overtime. I don't know if you've seen the Overtime channel. Bro, their logo was Ukraine. And I'm like, I'm getting confused what's going on. Like how bad is this invasion that like the whole world has to show something? Like I was driving in the city yesterday and like you got billboards and stuff and you go and go like, what about Palestine or the other places that are happening in the world? You know what I mean? And it's like the attention isn't fair across the board.
I think a lot of the problem is that people think this is all whataboutisms. So, you can't come in here. You have to see things as an isolated incident, or things are different, and like compartmentalize all the problems. Yeah, and then you're looking at it and you're like, hang on. Wait a second. Why is it that now all of a sudden like there's one side that's an oppressed and one side that's an oppressor? You know what I mean? What categorizes it? And then you start to see those news reports of those guys start spilling out the real reason
Yeah, I
they're
was
speaking
shocked
like
by
this.
that, man.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes,
This is a European country. This isn't the Middle East.
relatively civilized.
Dude.
And you're like, hang on,
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
wait a second.
They normalized the Middle East, whatever's happening, the war, whatever. They normalized it. Like, oh, that's happening every day. When it's Ukraine, European, out of nowhere, like.
But
oh.
even more so, like like Suhail was saying, the category of oppression changes depending on like who's the one calling the oppression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for example, in the same week, I think when the invasion started, where what's his name, Putin invaded Ukraine. In that same week, I'm pretty sure there was a missile strike against Somalia, type of thing. You know what
So
I
I
mean?
didn't even know
Okay, I
that.
didn't even know that either.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, literally in that same week, and then someone reported that and said so. And at that time, Putin hadn't done no strikes or anything. He was just going in there heavy with army. Yeah. Now, what were they doing? What was the first type of invasion? I don't know. Whatever the first invasion was, there was no like there was.
There was on the border.
Yeah.
There's like a small section of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Where the that people who lived there in support was Russia.
Yeah.
They let them the Russian army go through the border.
He's right. There's two whatever major cities or something like that in Ukraine at the time, but they pledged their allegiance to whatever you call it, Russia or something. When that was happening at that time, there was an attack on Somalia by the US. You know what I mean? And US was calling...
By the US.
What the US?
Yeah, US attacked, or they didn't attack Somalia. Well, you could technically call it attack. There was a military, there was a drone strike. Yeah, and apparently it's against Al-Shabaab or whatever it is type of thing.
Oh my
You know what I mean? But you use that same example and it's just like, who's the oppressor in this scenario?
I think all of the war stems from like Ukraine becoming a part of NATO or something like that.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Mhm.
Like as soon as
They were trying to get part of NATO.
Yeah.
Nah, in regards to because before like this all stems back just post like the Cold War, where they basically essentially agreed you're gonna take that side, we're gonna take this side. This is the two. So what did America do? They basically formed an allegiance with like the North Atlantic Treaty, whatever, with certain countries in the North Atlantic. And then they basically said if they got into like an allegiance, if one of our states get attacked, your states and blah, 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 we're all going to help each other type of thing. And then they agreed with the Soviet Union that we're basically not going to cross like that eastern border. What happens is obviously slowly over time, as the Soviet Union got weaker, and this is why it's Putin's mission almost, you know what I mean, in regards to, because to him it's a pride thing. You know what I mean? He grew up in a time when the Soviet Unions or the Russians were weak.
Where have you heard that before?
Say again?
Where have you heard that before? It's my pride to bring back the countries, you know?
Oh, he said that himself.
I'm saying that's exactly what happened with Hitler. Because he fought in World War One,
You're referencing
and he
Hitler.
goes, Germans were powerful. After that, they created the treaty, so they couldn't have control, couldn't own as much land as they used to, and have as much power. So why did World War II start? Exact same
started
thing.
from-
I'm just saying, because
Yeah.
you're saying,
History repeats
'cause
itself.
I'm not in the loop with what Putin's saying. So hearing it's like, I've heard that before.
Exactly. History repeats itself essentially.
So-
But yeah, basically the Americans or the Western countries are getting close to the eastern border or whatever. And hence Ukraine is literally one of the biggest separation between the Western and Eastern Europe, you know? But it's crazy, bro.
I think when you look at it, like regardless of the situation, there's always like collateral damage. Like there's these civilian lives and all these casualties. They're like, they're just a part of the situation. So like to get to a resolution,
The price we have to pay.
this is the price you have to pay basically. And that's the funny thing about war. Yeah, no one wins. In the end of the day, no one actually wins.
I'm pretty sure there was research done about like the last 350 battles, and they said like 348 of them ended not on the battlefield. And when you hear that stat, it's like
As in what it ended in like a treaty or something?
exactly what you said before with NATO.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. How'd the Cold War stop? Cuban Missile Crisis. There's fear. Okay, let's just come to an agreement. There's always pushing each other's boundaries until you hit a certain max, and then something happens. You know?
Yeah. And they get to some sort of agreement essentially
So
at the
it's
end.
just absurd when you hear it. You're like, subhanallah, how many people have to die? You know,
Yeah.
just so two guys can go in a room and say, "Yep," you know,
Shake your hand.
yeah, and say,
Come on,
"Okay,
bro.
you killed 7 million of mine, we killed 9,
Yeah.
but we'll come to an agreement. I won't come to your country, you don't come to ours."
Bro, you know one thing
Thanks.
I've always like said to myself was, what's weird, yeah? In amidst wars, you know when leaders meet up like during like the peak of battles, like for example, what's the president of Ukraine's name again? Alexander, whatever,
sure.
whatever, yeah?
Sick.
And Putin or something like that. They've met up a couple of times. I think they're on their 4th time meeting up to discuss whatever, try and whatever.
Our treaty, yeah.
I'm thinking, bro, that's your time to go kill him. Get him right now. I get confused at times like that. I would have done the
I know
exact
what you
same
mean,
thing.
though.
You're like a little kid, bro. Talking right now.
No, but seriously,
Yeah.
bro. I'm actually being
I know what
serious.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when I was watching the Sultan Mehmet thingy, when I was trying to get what's called Andalus, yeah, I was thinking, bro, they met a couple of times. Like this is the perfect time to get the other leader's head off. The
But
war's
it's not
done.
about the leader,
Yeah.
because someone else just comes into
But
power.
the ideology, bro.
Yeah.
If you kill a person, the ideology doesn't die with them.
And you know what's going to happen? There's going to, for example, if you do go and kill a leader, people are never going to forgive you. So it's going to be,
It's gonna be.
it's like, because I remember,
You've crossed that boundary.
yeah, I remember
Yeah, there's no way back.
Trevor Noah was talking about the comments that people make.
Yeah.
He's a European country. He's like, Europeans created the most war ever in history, in like history that's dated.
The 100-year war.
And it's like they had a 100-year war. It's like literally called 100 years of war. How can it? You say a European country, civilized. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
crazy how they, it's
Yeah.
crazy how they flip the rhetoric, bro. And then
SubhanAllah.
they look at us and they always say like, "Oh, Islam spread by the sword and this and that." It's So hang on. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't sit on a throne of hypocrisy and think, I can come around here pointing fingers and I can make the claims or the statements of who's civilized, who's not civilized.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense to me.
for sure. And a lot of the remarks are subtle as well. It's not until they compile them after one by one till you realize, these guys are actually hella racist.
Because, a lot of times what happens now, like with Ukraine, alhamdulillah, there's actually a lot of support going on. Like, I got an email yesterday from Tim Ferriss on his email chain. He goes, all the prophets from this book, and he said, listed other authors that are doing it, is literally going to Ukraine for support.
Why?
Because Ukraine needs support because they're getting invaded.
No, but see, this is
No.
the tricky thing.
That's what the conversation I'm trying to get to. It's
But-
like, what? Yeah.
The point is sometimes like we look at it like, oh my God, what's happening when they're not sending to Palestine, they're not sending to all these other countries. Obviously, it's our job as Muslims. Like, I don't remember the last time I sent money to Palestine, so I should be the first one to look at myself before I start looking at other people.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, do you remember like when there was the Burmese refugees and those countries like all around the world that were struggling, and then sometimes we go through stages where, like, we'll send to one country and for a month, and then another country for another country for another month, and then we keep like going around. It's like there's, even if the country's not first on the list, there's other countries that need the support. So we've got to just keep trying to send it around.
This is like a bit off topic from what you're talking about with the charity, but doesn't it trip you out that there's been consistent conflict in Yemen, in Somalia, in Lebanon, in Palestine,
Syria.
in Syria, and every single time, what's the main topic for example, like a Scott Morrison or for like a Peter Dutton to get elected? They want to close the borders.
Immigration.
They want to stop. They want to stop an influx of immigration because apparently we're full.
Yeah.
And you hear Boris Johnson saying we're going to take in as many as we can of the Ukrainians. See, that right there tripped me out. See, that right there tripped me out. That you can't get a more clear example of what they feel we are. Like they've gone dehumanized. We have to check on you, but you come.
Yeah,
You might be a racist, you might be this. You could be whatever. You got blonde hair, blue eyes. Come on,
you're
You
good
can
to
come
go.
in. Yeah.
just come.
Bro, it was the same thing with what's his name? What's the tennis player? Novak Djokovic.
Yep.
Where the number one thing, and like alhamdulillah for this as well, is like it took a millionaire to expose it's called the agenda of our Australian Prime Minister. You know what I mean? It wasn't until the fact that this guy, who obviously had a lot of money, there was like 3 other tennis players or whatever that were in the same position at him. He was the only one technically could afford all his court battles and stuff. The only reason, technically speaking, he got rejected, from it's called Australia, he gets sent back home, it was because an election's upcoming, and the number one agenda on Scott Morrison's election, not to get too political as well, is the fact that immigration is a big thing. They say they're tough on 2 things. Their tax or whatever, and immigration. They say Australia's got the toughest borders, tough as this. Even the pharmaceutical, the TGA regulations and stuff. They say Australia's very, very tough on it. But it took just one guy from Serbia to compete in a competition for it to all go haywire. You know what I mean?
Plus, when Geopolitical, the hotel you're staying at,
Yeah.
is where the refugees are staying at, and they haven't been let out for 5 years or 3 years waiting for.
10. I've heard 20 as well.
Craig Foster, yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets out. What? Just like that? You can walk out like that?
Bro,
it's trippy.
Bro, the Craig Foster thing, that's why I say, like, alhamdulillah for seeing this, because, like, I'm not going to jump on it and say, like, I'm some sort of, like, white hero, blah, 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 whatever. But in regards to the refugee situation, I didn't know it was that bad. It was, that video Craig Foster put up on Instagram or whatever, all these social medias, and you see the people literally standing out. How many times have you passed by that street in the city, like, whatever? And it's like, these guys are just locked up there. Some people 9 years. I think, fam, like, we struggled with lockdown.
Think about us 9 years ago. You're watching 99 Go.
Yeah.
And it's like, now look at it.
Literally.
Is that the right time for a joke?
Astaghfirullah.
No, it's good. But no, honestly, though, like when I'm looking at it, one thing that I always like remember is, you ever remember the refugee crisis after, like, for example, you have those boats coming in, and there's an influx of like people, and then they just ship them off to Christmas Island or Papua New Guinea or whatever it is, and they just tell them, hey, you're not coming here, just right there, just right there, and you've got people basically dying to get away, bro. Imagine that going on this boat, you're an 80% chance of dying. When you're going to a place that possibly or majority of the time won't take you in, or if not, they're gonna make it very hard for you to get in. Imagine how desperate and dire your situation has to be. I'm pretty sure somebody who wants to come in here and wreak havoc on the Western world is gonna go, so you're telling me I go on this boat, I have an 80% chance, 90% chance of dying.
Yeah.
And when I come to this place, they're probably not even let me in the country. What havoc am I gonna wreak? Yeah, all these guys, they're suicide bombers. They're gonna kill us. They're gonna kill us all. They're gonna kill our families. They're gonna rape our what? Bro, are you dumb? Do you know the haram, bro? These people are dying to leave a place. They're literally dying to leave a place. They're thinking that it's more safe for them to take that risk to come to another place that doesn't even want them. Yeah? What?
Yeah.
Just think about that as like a... And then now you've got people, like I said, everyone deserves help. Bro, take them in. I don't mind. Take them in. But innocent people don't deserve to die for the stupidity of a couple leaders.
For sure.
But you're just looking at it and you're like, hang on a second. Wait. This story is basically the same thing. What's changed? The color of the person's skin, the color of their eyes, what language they speak, where they're from.
The amount of money in their pockets.
Come on, man.
It's weird.
Come on, man.
But even that concept's crazy as well. They're more comfortable with the possibility of dying on their journey than living, essentially. You know, and that's like crazy. But what happens to these people when they do make it, the 10% or whatever? Do they...
Here in Australia,
Yeah,
they vet them. So they'll ship them off to a refugee camp, or they'll put them in like a different place, like the Christmas Island or whatever it is that you hear. And a lot of the times when they come here, they don't just... Bro, the border security here is crazy. You can't even get on a plane to get here. They find something small in your bag, they're gonna lose their mind.
Way too strict.
Or the random checks. But it's not even a real thing till like you come close to an understanding. Like how many Melburnians or Australians are oblivious to the scenario until something happens for you to realize. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like the concept is crazy and stuff. I used to think it was one of those like, man, another conversations about refugees, asylum seekers. It's like, bro, get it off the news. But then you realize like you're actually fortunate enough to be living in a country. It's just crazy, man. But
looks like we need to do research to what we can do to help the situation, you know?
for sure.
As you get older, boys,
Yes.
you start to look at your friendship circle and it will decrease on its own, but sometimes it doesn't decrease on its own. Sometimes you look at the people that are around you and then you're like, there's actually no reason for this to continue. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like a relationship where you have to go, it's over, it's done with now, we're breaking up as mates, we're not mates anymore. You don't have to like verbalize and acting, but you start to see, for example, like behaviors and you start to see certain things from people around you that not only irritate you, but also they don't really align with the person you're trying to be.
Yeah.
You know? So I want to pose this question, like, how do you know it's the right time to walk away from a friendship?
Maybe it depends. Maybe it starts with like, how often you see the person, and like you could say even the things like mutual interests and why you still hang out with them and stuff like that. As simple as it sounds, because obviously you have friends that you hang out with more than others, and sometimes you don't even realize you're hanging out with them too often. But then you would only start to realize the hard way, where it's like it's detrimenting your like development. For example, like, you know, you want to talk about certain topics that you like to talk about these days, and they don't even like to bring it up or they speak about once in a while, and all they talk about is like just straight banter. And it's like, it's good, but then if you're hanging out with them 3-4 times a week, then it's clearly not enough for your lifestyle and what you want to be socializing.
Do you think it's okay to axe mates?
For me, I come from a perspective that I wouldn't tell a mate, hey, we're not going to be friends anymore. It's not a breakup, you know what I mean? All you do is distance through those stages where it's like, if you have a lot of different friends, like you got 10, 15, it's impossible to see all of them. So you have to be intentional about it. And sometimes you might not distance yourself because you don't like someone, just because you don't have the time, you know? Because like family, you're going through stuff at work, there's like life gets the better of you, you know? Unfortunately, you can't keep 100 friendships. Like become super tight with all of them. So I more try to just distance myself. And the reason I would distance myself is like, there's got to be something I get out of it. Like sometimes it's nice seeing old mates and you talk about old stories, which is hectic. But if I see them like 3 times a week, twice a week, it's not at least helping me in one area. I don't have to be like, hey, the guy has to be successful in all areas. If he helps me with work, Dean, or if I help him in one area, we go gym together, we talk about self-development, there's some type of benefit. Or I see him trying to do more in some area. It does help the relationship because it kind of like gives me that push. It's like we're both trying to get better together. But normally it's distance, you know, but then like going the other day to Mum's barbecue was really nice. I love doing that. And if I feel like if I ask a mate, it's like, there's no need for that. You don't do that. It's like you go see your mate, you chat, you talk for an hour, you love it, but you're not calling him twice a week to go hang out.
Yeah.
So you just distance yourself, and then when you do see someone, you just socialize. But really, a lot of the time, it's the mates you see 2-3 times a week that's going to have the biggest impact on you.
Yeah.
Seeing your mate at a barbecue once every 2 months isn't really going to affect too much, you know?
It's not gonna have like a massive change on your
Yeah.
behavior. Yeah. So you reckon instead of like burning bridges with people, it'd be better to organically just allow it to pass.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure. I feel like you sort of also like realize, like both parties tend to realize that you guys are on two different waves, and then you just naturally sort of diverge. You know what I mean? Like for example, let's just say two people would constantly meet each other through, I don't know, dates on a burger or something like that, go into a burger shop or something like that. But one guy doesn't like a burger anymore. You know what I mean? That will cause that separation that they'll dwindle slowly and slowly type of thing, because they don't have that common interest anymore. But I was going to ask Ashraf, so the distancing doesn't always necessarily mean it's negative. You know what I mean? Because going to Suhail's question about how I would acclimate, I'd probably do the same thing. I'd distance myself slowly. If it's enough of a conversation, then I would pose that conversation, like if it was a big deal. But if we're just slowly growing apart, that's just natural, that's part of life type of thing. But then you also said like Mamdouh, who you probably haven't had an outing with him in like 2 months or type of thing, that distancing isn't negative, correct?
Yeah, a lot of relationships, you don't have to see each other once a week to keep a tight relationship.
For
It's
sure.
like when I saw Abshir.
Yeah.
Whenever I see Abshir, whenever I see Shifa or Mamdouh or whoever,
It's love.
It's straight away like it's the good old days, but you don't have to see them weekly.
For sure.
And those are the kind of friendships you want, where it's not like you call someone and you're like, hey, let's go out for dinner. And the first hour, you're like, is it awkward? I haven't messaged you in a month.
You don't
It's
have to think for them.
Yeah, and that's the kind of friendships you want to have, when you don't have to think, you don't have to care.
For
You
sure.
just be yourself. It's not like, hey, imagine that guy that sends you a text an hour later, hey, I made a joke. You know, I think I went too far. It's like, bro, I've known you for 15 years.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
a joke gonna do?
For sure.
You know what I mean? You want to have a friendship where you can kind of just be yourself. And I feel like axing friendships, it's a lot of the times later on you might actually become friends with him, but it gets awkward if you tell the guy, hey, I don't want to be mates with you anymore. It's not something I
It's
think.
like primary school time.
Yeah.
You go to the kindergarten, hey, you can't play with us no more.
Yeah.
My mum said you can't be my friend today.
Do you think that there would ever be something like a situation between you and a mate that would require you to ask them, like verbally, make it very clear that this ain't it no more?
Everyone has a max. And it's probably they can reach a certain level where it's like, boom, now you got to make it concrete. Especially like, for example, if I say, hey, you keep like creating a distance. What if the guy puts in so much effort? He's texting you 3 days a week. Hey, let's hang out. It's like, you don't want to be getting those calls all the time. So you want to also make it clear. So it depends on what the person does. I probably have my own level of max. Like if this person does this, I can't be mates with them anymore. But no one's reached that level.
Yeah.
And it's not something I think about. It's like, oh, you know.
You don't probably put yourself in that scenario.
Yeah, I haven't made a criteria and it's like, hey, you've done 1 out of the 4. You have 3 left. It's like, come on.
2 strikes left, you're out.
I was gonna say
You're treading on thin ice.
You'd know when the person does too much, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Have you?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so also like with the friendships and stuff, like you'll start to realize, let's say it's 4 times a week, you're seeing them, yeah. But if you like this random scenario, it goes down to once a week. It actually can sometimes make your relationship with them more healthier, and you might become actually like, I don't know how, it's weird to say, but like it can develop your friendship in a way where it's
What,
like
that distance?
Yeah, that distance. Like it's a healthy distance. You both obviously understand that's life, whatever. But then every time you see each other, and it's just proper genuine. Like it actually could be better long term.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's like you're not even axing the person, but you're still seeing them once in a while, still
Yeah.
keeping that connection, and it's actually better.
But I think also that distance sort of itself has a boundary. You know what I mean? And like the way that I see it is like, you don't, like you said, Ashraf, before, you don't constantly have to see them, and when you see them again, it's love type of thing. But when it gets to the point where you're actually missing out on the other person's growth type of thing, then that's where it becomes, you guys have actually diverged into 2 different people type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like, let's just say like I'm in a healthy relationship with all of you guys type of thing, and I hadn't seen you guys for like 9 months, 10 months or something like that, and all I know is you're getting married type of thing. I'd be like, bro, what the hell type of thing, because I'm missing out on such a milestone of your relationship. That distance isn't even healthy anymore. That point is like, do I even know you type of thing? And that's why I think you should still like constantly check up on your mates, whether it's that little, hey, this, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Because you don't want, like you said, you don't want to have that conversation next time you see them, or haven't seen them in like a month. But at the same time, you don't want to have that conversation with them. Go, oh shit, I don't even recognize this person. You know, it's like that healthy balance between the two.
Can you tell us why you wanted to bring it up? Because then I can understand like what's been going through your head. Because you've probably been thinking about it maybe post-COVID when there's like a lot of social groups and a lot of different things. Or maybe you saw mates
Have you
recently.
asked someone recently?
No, next time.
Okay.
I get a text after the podcast.
Ashraf, you did this.
Don't talk to no more. Nah, I was just thinking about it. Like, I was looking at things after COVID, like you were saying, and I was just saying how much time I have in a day. And then a lot of the times, like in my past, a lot of my time was spent around people and mates and all that sort of stuff. And then you start to notice that, hang on, I don't see this person as much no more. Or what's happening with this guy? Or what happened there? Is it that they asked me, or did I ask them, or was I not doing enough in the thing to maintain it? And you're just like, hang on, wait a second. This is just organic. Like, you grow and you grow separate ways. It's just how it is. Yeah. But the one thing that I was posing it to you guys was, if you look at your current friendship circle now, would you say it's too big to maintain with your current responsibilities and stuff like that? You know, like that's what I wanted to find out, because I was looking at my friendship circle. I'm like, alhamdulillah, like, oh, Mr. Popular, whatever. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm just looking at it saying, like, is it healthy to be this age and to be juggling all the stuff that I'm juggling, and then on top of that, like, you have to kind of like maintain so many friendships at a time, and like, what would it be that would cause you to go, hang on, you're not really worth my time, you're not worth my energy, or whatever it is. But see, that sort of stuff, like, obviously seeing it from you guys, it's like you don't really need to verbalize anything.
No, you don't.
You can just kind of like organically like just let it pass, you know?
And then instead of seeing them also like once a week, once a fortnight, you can see them once a month. But on the topic of it, there's eventually going to be a stage where you have to make tough decisions. And we're finite human beings. We can't see all of our mates, and we can't keep the connection tight with all of them. And it is tough, because I know, for example, me, there's so many boys. It's like, I'd love to see them once a fortnight. You know, like, a lot of times I hit workouts with people, and like, we should do this once a fortnight. But if 5 people say that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like 3 days a week I'm going out with different guys to hit workouts.
4 hours, 2 hours, 3
And
hours, 3 hours.
Like you said, there's so many people, like, not so many, but it's like 10, 15. And if you want to see them each, like, think about it, if there's 10 boys, and that's every 3 days, if you want to see them once a month.
Yeah.
It's a lot
And
of
if
socializing.
they're not in the same friendship circle, even tougher.
You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes when you have a lot of friendships, you don't go as deep with them. And that's the thing where it's like, because of that, you feel like you don't have a tight circle, but you have 7 kind of tight circles. So it depends on what you want. But the ideal friendships you should have is friendships where even if you don't message them for a month, you come back and you're still tight.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one answer fits all.
But I guess it's also how you value a friendship as well. Because
Yeah.
like, I know people who, the complete opposite type of thing, where distance isn't a good thing for them. You know, they've got to be in each other's. You know, there's people that like, whenever you see like whenever you see Ali, you'll see Ashraf. Whenever you see Ashraf, Ali type of people, they always come like as a pair. Those type of people, they're completely opposite to us. But it also comes down to like how you communicate it as well. You know what I mean? Like, we all appreciate distance, not distance per se, but it's not that deep to us if we don't see each other in a week, type of thing. If you have that same relationship, and obviously you don't have to verbalize it, and you have that same communication with the other person, then it's calm. You know what I mean? But if it has, I realize friendships, everything has to be communicated, are the ones where you got to actually have to address that, you know, and actually have to look into it, because like, every little thing you do, you're gonna have to have a conversation about it. It's like, bro, what's the point of the friendship?
You think everyone gets the social cues, but not everyone does, man.
Yeah. Well, with your friends, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it reminded me of like when Rasul Sallallahu wasn't invited to one of his Sahaba's weddings. You heard that story before? Yeah?
Abdurrahman ibn Auf. And then he found that he got married, and he's like,
and they got married, bro. The Rasul Sallallahu was like, imagine him in his status. Like, everyone was his Sahaba, bro. Everyone was his mate. He's the Rasul Sallallahu.
Yeah, yeah.
Think, bro, surely this guy gets invited to his wedding.
For sure.
You know? And then all of a sudden, he rocked up and he saw him and he goes, oh, congratulations, you know? You're thinking maybe you'd get offended or hurt by it or whatever it is. The Rasul Sallallahu was just like, yeah, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's calm.
he's
You
more
know what I
happy
mean?
for him.
Yeah.
And that's the point where it's like, the guy's about to have his, pretty much like the best day of your life kind of thing. And you're more worried about yourself getting an invite.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you guys ever had to ask a mate?
Distance myself, yeah. But I never sent a message, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah. You've never had that conversation, yeah?
Yeah, that's a weird
Have
one.
you said? Have you had that conversation? It's like, no, we can't be doing this anymore. It's getting tough. Our relationship's getting rocky.
Like I've had fallouts with people. Not
Yeah.
really gone. Don't talk to me anymore. I'm done.
Mm.
I had fallouts.
But it's clear. It's clear that you're not friends
pretty
anymore.
clear,
Yeah, I get
it's
that.
pretty much done.
I think it's
Yeah.
girls
Speaks
that
for
do it the other
itself.
way around.
Yeah,
And they end up blocking each other and stuff.
I don't do no subliminal messaging, alhamdulillah.
But on that story you were saying about, like, it's actually interesting because if you think about like our generation now, next few years, whatever, if not like even longer, 10 years, there's going to be weddings that are happening, and then you might think you're going to get an invite somewhere and you're not, and some people take it personally. So like I guess like it starts with yourself and like how you deal with those situations. Because I've had like even like some distant cousins I thought I'd get invited to, but like because it's small weddings, I didn't. And initially in your head, it's like, why not get an invite? But then it's like, it's not that deep. It's not really about you anyway. So it's like,
Exactly.
you have to be happy for the person at the end of the day. Those little things like other events even that you expect to get invites and you don't. You see boys out, you're not there. Don't deep it.
I think you also have to realize how important socializing is for you. Because, for example, if you have 7 nights a week and you do one day, you got indoor, and then one day you got class, 2 days family, that's 4. It's like 3. And then when you get married, you have to add the in-laws family and her friends and whoever. Like it's big steps where in life you're not going to have as much time as you want to. So that's where you kind of have to maybe even cut back to which friends you actually want to socialize. But that's literally the reason why I'd like to like group 2 things together. Like indoor, you want to play soccer, might as well see your mates. Don't go play futsal Oz with 4 mates or in a league when it's like, hey, you see them, unless you're tired with them, but then you go play with other people. Rather get 20 boys, you see them all, nice catch up. The same reason as why I like to go gym. It's like, I don't have time to go dinner with you, but we can go gym. I'm going to hit a workout anyway. Let's just go.
Have a stacker, huh?
I rate it.
He puts his friend next to the thing that he wants to walk past every day. Abdulwali, you sit there. It's like, I remember the guy.
He stretches on FaceTime. How's your day today?
Come read with me.
That's bad.
Why? What's that bad?
I didn't get. Why was it so bad?
Nah, it wasn't bad. I'm just saying. Like, yeah.
This guy's dying, that's why. He didn't expect that.
Yeah.
God. But no, honestly though,
Like,
like,
because we've done that before.
Oh, okay.
well, he's read on Zoom.
Whoa. We just call it Willie out.
He's a bit serious.
I don't think so.
Wait, what?
He's read on Zoom before with them.
No.
Oh,
No,
like-
don't count me, bro.
We've broken down books and stuff. I like it though. With Ashraf.
Like what Mufti Ziyad recommended.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
man.
Halakha
That's
or like
Say
a
we make
book
it
club?
better. Like what Mufti Ziyad recommended.
Yeah, for sure.
Put me on the spot, like what the Sheikh said. Yeah.
Sisterhood of the traveling pants, bro. Look at this.
Alhamdulillah.
It reminds you of the reading corners or something like that.
Yeah.
But nah,
That's good.
I was thinking about it because I was talking to this older guy at the gym the other day, and he was like to me like, "Oh, I love these older guys at the gym. You don't really know their name or whatever. They say hello to you. They come to you. They throw advice at you. They go back to bench press.
Yeah.
Yeah? Those guys are the funniest
Wise.
blokes.
Do you like talking to people at the gym? Like
I
having conversations?
I don't put my headphones in always. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I've known these guys for like maybe 8 years or 7 years or whenever I've been going to the gym since I was like 18 or whatever.
This is your regular gym, yeah?
Yes, this is the place I've been going to since I was 18. As soon as I finished year 12, but I remember him from then, and he used to always just come up to me, have a chat,
Straight
you
conversation.
know, and then he'll just drop some advice I didn't ask for, but
Yeah.
You take it because of his
yeah,
age.
like, I was just like, okay, maybe there's some truth to what he's saying, and this is also the reason why I wanted to talk about this. He just goes to me, mate, look at everybody that's in your circle right now. He goes, now think about how many of them are going to stick around. Count them on one hand. That's how many of them are going to be around when you're like my age. And he's like 45-ish. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, how's that possible, bro? I've only got 5 fingers on one hand, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't
4
make
and a
sense.
thumb though. No,
you
I'm
know?
joking.
Yeah.
You're going to be technical.
Yeah.
There's one gone.
But you're right. Like,
But I was just thinking about it, yeah? And I was just like, how's that going to be possible? Like, how's anybody going to... And then you start to hear plans of your mates. Some of them want to move interstate or overseas to do
Spain.
things. And you're like, you also want to move overseas and do things. And Allah Alam, where World War III is going to take us as well, bro.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So we'll probably be like... And also there's... off the topic, but I know that they're trying to pass a bill where if you have a dual citizenship, they basically can find reasons to axe you and send you back to
oh wow.
the other. Yeah. So I don't know if that's
SubhanAllah.
passed yet, but
In Australia?
they're doing it in UK, but in Australia they're trying to pass that bill as well. But see
Oh.
that sort of stuff, it's kind of like you look and you get, we're all the same people, like us and the older generation now. They were all our age once, yeah.
Thinking the same as us too.
You know what I'm saying? Like they probably had a lot of boys. They were thinking, bro, I'm on top of the world. I'm bulletproof. I can run through walls. You know, I'm a big guy. And then they had a shoulder injury, or unfulfilled potential, or this broke down with a mate, or this business idea didn't work, or I had this dream or whatever. You look at them and they're just that old guy there that's having a chat with you at the gym before, in between sets on a bench press or something like that, you know? And you see these, even further than that, you see these old people that walk around, they're like, they can't do anything on their own anymore. And you're just like, wow, that's going to be me one day, inshallah, if Allah lets me, you know?
Yeah.
If Allah allows us to get to that age, inshallah, bro. And you're just like, you know, you look at it and you're just like, right now, you don't really want to think about it and whatever, but then it just sinks in, you're like.
Because you can't comprehend it, because it feels like so far away. It's like, yeah, that's going to be ages, man. It's like, you don't even consider it.
But unfortunately, the wisdom that the old generation give us, we look and say, no, that's different. Because me and my friends aren't like that. I'm going to keep my friendships. And
we live in a different generation.
And then you reach that age, you reach 45, you're like, damn, he was right. Or that kind of thing. So it's one of those things where maybe you can learn now, and then it's like, okay, invest in the relationships that do matter. And that's the thing, you know?
That's exactly what the point I was trying to say. Like, the whole reason is like, you look at the things that are going to like, you know, like, the plants that are going to bear fruit the best, you know?
Sure.
The things that are going to actually like maintain. That's what I learned from the Mufti thing, from the Mufti talk. I was like, what I learned from him was like, the ones who are going to take you away from Allah is like the ones you should avoid. Not really like axe them. You can see them, but not enough to like affect your behavior. You know what I mean? Because as much as you hate to admit it, as much as we hate to admit it, yeah, is that good? We're all influenced by our environment, regardless of how much you expect yourself to be. Like, you're always gonna fall into the same pitfalls as the people around you. Like you were saying, you're on the deen of the 5 closest people to you. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That just got me reflecting. So, like, the guy at the gym, Mufti, and like.
And there's a reason why all these things happen maybe the day after each other or right next to each other. So that makes you think Allah's giving you these signs. Yeah, and a lot of times we're like, oh, good reminder. That's really good for Ali or Suhail. Or you name someone else. It's like, there's a reason you were there. Yeah. And that's the thing what people don't realize, you know?
But you just think about it and you're like, you look at your current lifestyle or your friendship group or whatever, and you go, I don't know how you're going to disappear. You might disappear. I don't know how I'm not going to end up seeing you anymore, but you might not be seen anymore. But then if you think even back further, you're like, hang on, look at the group of people you had around you then. And then you look at the people, how much you used to like invest time in those people, and they're gone now. And then you go, oh, so it just happens. Like things just occur. You know?
I feel you 100%.
It, like, you don't expect it, but it will just happen on its own. And that's okay. That's completely fine. You know? But it's just trippy. It's just trippy in like life in general, yeah?
I just finished a book. It's called 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman. Do you guys know Die of a CEO?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the
podcast.
The light-skinned guy.
Yeah, he literally just got him on. And like literally, I finished the book today and he just got him on. So it's perfect timing. But he talks about, it's pretty much time management for mortals. And the whole book is about facing finitude. So how there isn't enough time in a day to do everything you want to do. And you have to be okay with that. That the next day and the next day. And it also like 4,000 weeks is 80 years. And that's how you should look at your life. Everything is long-term thinking. You know, every investment you got to make is thinking long-term. You don't have to think of every single day, hey, I have a to-do list. I only did 6 out of the 8. And then you start feeling bad about yourself. That's just, you know, a pitfall going in the wrong direction. So you want to, even with your friendships, find the friendships that do matter, that you think will be around for the next 3,000 weeks. So, okay, boom, invest in those. That's a long time to be mates.
I don't want to see anyone 3,000 weeks. I want to see myself for 3,000.
It's understandable, bro.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, it's just, I like I was telling you, just had this feeling. I was like, let me just throw it out there and see how it goes. It might make a good podcast, inshallah, as well.
I think it was a good conversation, short, sharp.
It'll help people as well discuss, man.
100%,
you know? Like,
yeah.
We can get some engagement with people as well. It'd be awesome.
If they want to become friends with Wally, Wally needs some friends.
I'm starting to act like I'm not joking. Now we'll leave the episode there. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.